to talk about what happened, more about what happened with this agreement. It was announced by Qatar, and it was announced just a couple of minutes ago. And at this point, Israel, as we've been told, has not yet mentioned anything about it. Hopefully, our next guest, Mark Regev, will be able to. He is the senior advisor to Prime Minister Netanyahu. Thank you so much, Mark, for being here. Can you tell us the details, as you understand it, inside the Israeli government of this extended truce?
So I think we have to say the following. Before we talk about extending the deal, we have to implement the current deal, and we're waiting for the last batch of hostages, of women and children who are supposed to be released this evening. And until they are safely on Israeli soil, we can't say that the 4-day agreement for the 50 hostages has been implemented. Having said that, my Prime Minister spoke publicly last night, and his remarks were reported on CNN. He said that we are open to the extension of this humanitarian pause for, as your reporter said quite correctly, for every 10 hostages released, we're willing to give an extension of another day. And if Hamas will release Israeli hostages as agreed, we will extend. That's the bottom line.
So that means if it's going to be extended for 2 more days, and I understand what you're saying about what's going to happen today, and I'll get to that in a minute, but just staying on this deal that was just announced inside Qatar, and the White House is also confirming, if it is 1 more day of a truce for every 10 hostages, if it's 2 days, presumably that means Hamas has agreed to 20 additional hostages after today?
That's correct. Once again, the parameters were set. These were negotiated with the help of President Biden, and we thank him for putting his effort and his office behind these arrangements. I don't think we would have reached the deal without his input. And yes, it was agreed. Every extra day, we get 10 hostages, and we'll stand by that.
Were they, so far, they have only been women and children, and that was those were the parameters of this initial deal. What about the extension? Will men be included there?
My understanding is that there's still enough women and children in Gaza held by Hamas that can fill that for the next 20. Hamas is responsible for all the hostages. They are, unfortunately, but they are the government there in Gaza. They control the situation on the ground. The cessation of fighting has given them the opportunity to find every last hostage. And we're expecting tonight to see the final group of women and children. And hopefully in the coming days, we'll see more.
Can you just expand on what you just said and how you started in this interview talking about the current situation? What is the holdup? You said that there is a holdup. What is the sticking point when it comes to the group of women and children expected to be released today?
As you know, this is the 4th and final release in the framework of the 4 days. But as you know, I think it was only last night that they actually got out on time. On the first day and the second day, there were delays, there were last-minute crises, there were all sorts of problems. And the truth is, we have to remember who we're dealing with. We're dealing with a ruthless, fanatical terrorist organization, Hamas. And it's always like pulling teeth. I mean, it's difficult. It's never easy. And that's why I urge, let's wait to see what happens tonight, that we see our people, the released hostages, safely on Israeli soil. I mean, last night, we had 13 Israeli women and children released. The youngest was that 4-year-old American Israeli, Abigail Idan, right? She was kidnapped when she was 3. So you have to ask, what sort of people kidnap 3-year-olds, right? And I think that tells you everything you need to know about Hamas and explains why it's so difficult. These people are ruthless, and if they think there's an advantage in them for perpetuating the suffering of these innocent civilians and their families in Israel, they will do so if they think it's in their interest.
Well, she was 3, and her parents were also, according to President Biden, murdered brutally right in front of her on October 7th. Yeah. So I completely take your point. Having said that, they are the organization that you have to deal with because they are the ones who have these women and children. So given that reality, that unfortunate reality that you are dealing with, what is the status, as far as you know, of those who are supposed to come out today?
So once again, we have received some good signals, but until they are on Israeli soil, it's not done. We can't celebrate. And it's the same for the families who've been waiting for these people for over 50 days now. Once again, once they are on Israeli soil, we can say it has been done. But we've got to be cautious. With Hamas, you've got to be cautious. You need nerves of steel when you're dealing with these sort of people.
Mark, I want to ask about one of the sticking points over the weekend, which was that there was a child released without her mother, the Rotem family. Hila was released and her mother was not, Raya. What is your understanding at this point of why that is, particularly now since you have been able to, officials in your government have been able to speak with the daughter about the last time she saw her mother? Can you give any more information about that?
I can only say the following, Dana. To release a young child without a parent, that is the most inhumane thing, to release a daughter and for the mother to stay in captivity. Once again, that is another manifestation of what we're dealing with. These people are heartless. These people are depraved. These people lack any sense of common decency, and that is our enemy. And when the fight against Hamas is resumed, I want people to remember that Israel is fighting a ruthless and despicable terrorist organization. And when we defeat them, as we will, that won't just be good for Israel. Our people deserve to live in safety and in security. Yes, not to fear terrorists crossing the border in the middle of the night and butchering their children. But the people of Gaza also deserve better. Hamas has been ruling Gaza for 16 years. And what have they brought the people of Gaza? Just suffering and pain and poverty. Everyone in this region will be better off without Hamas.
Just, if I may, you described the unfortunate human situation here, terrible human, barbaric human situation. But what about the why? Are you concerned that her mother and others have been separated from Hamas and are now in captivity by other groups inside Gaza?
Look, from Israel's perspective, Hamas can't subcontract out any responsibility. They are responsible. And the reason for the pause was not to give any excuses, because if Israel continued attacking, they could say, well, we couldn't get out of our bunker to find the hostages. They've had now 4 days of pause. They're the guys that control the Gaza Strip. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't the case. It soon won't be the case. But at the moment, they're in charge, and they are responsible for all the hostages.
Mark Regev, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.